Throughout this podcast, you may hear a few names of the students and mentors we work with. We have permission from everyone who we mention. I remember I met you first, and then I started talking with you, went and got Johnny. And me and Johnny wrote goals together,
Yeah,
and it was fine.
I paired you up with the easy, like
Yeah,
one of the
yeah.
kids that went through SLP,
Uh-huh.
went through everything, and I was like, and I remember Johnny was like, "Why I gotta do it?" I was just like, I was like, "Bro, it's his first day down here." I was like, "Just make him feel like like he made a connection today." Like,
Yeah.
so
And that's exactly what I felt like. But then looking back on it, I was like, because like I went and started coming more, and I was like, oh, Johnny is the easiest person to talk to.
Yeah.
But I think from my perspective, like walking in, like obviously everyone has like their like traumas a little bit, but me coming in, I was like, oh, I'm like the first choice that I had to make was deciding to understand that I'm not going to understand a lot that happens on here, because like you would go and you would talk about your life, and I just had to sit there and be like, okay, that happened. That's not going to change my opinion on Nate. It's not going to change how I view him. I'm going to view him about what takes place in like the present, and then taking that step by step. But then I would still like go to my friends at school and I'd be like, guys,
yo, I know this dude.
guess what happened today? And like stuff like that still happens. But I think like from my perspective, coming in and almost being like an outsider, it was like there's the first choice of understanding that I won't understand everything that happens. But then the second thing was the choice of I can't quit on these kids because so many people have already. But even like that being a daily choice, and I think that is like very applicable to even like life and not necessarily just a benchmark.
I think like touching on that, what you said. I can't quit on these kids because that's what drives it. I think people. Like the reward is like, all right, we get paid for this, and I think that it's amazing that we get paid to do this stuff, right? That's wild. But the biggest reward is when you see kids and you see them changing, or you see how they talk and how they go about things is changing. Like that's the biggest reward. You actually see the growth, and you're like, wow, this is crazy. And then you look back and then you remind them sometimes that like, yo, remember when you used to be like this? And they're like, yeah, that was crazy, right? I don't ever want to go back there again. So then. That's the reward, though.
I 100% agree. I think like from my perspective, coming in and almost being like an outsider, it was like the first choice of understanding that I'm not going to understand a lot that happens on here, because like you would go and you would talk about your life, and I just had to sit there and be like, okay, that happened. That's not going to change my opinion on Nate. It's going to not going to change how I view him. I'm going to view him about what takes place in like the present, and then taking that step by step. But then the second thing was the choice of